All right, thanks for joining us today to take a look at Null from Spider-Man and Venom Absolute Carnage. He is number 52 of the set. He has 2-point values, 250 points or 125 points. He's coming in with the Codex Maximum Carnage, Cosmic Deity, and Monster keywords. He has 3 traits that we're going to look at real quick, and then we're going to continue to look at them in further detail. But the first trait gives him the all-black Necro Sword equipped at no cost at the start of the game. The second trait is Plasticity, but has Breakaway +3, and opposing characters have Breakaway -3 instead. That trait also gives him Shape Change, but succeeds on a 4 through 6. And when he KOs an opposing character after resolutions, heal 2 clicks. His last trait gives him Stealth. Smoke Cloud is free, but generates obscure terrain markers instead. It also gives him free, place Null in a square of obscure terrain within 4 squares. All right, he's bringing all kinds of powers and abilities to the table, so let's take a close look at all of this stuff that he has going on. First, the Necro Sword is going to give him Giant Reach 2, and it also gives the following 2 things on close attacks. The opponent can't use Shape Change or Super Senses, and the opponent can't reduce damage below 1. Null also has Power Cosmic, giving him Protected Outwit and Willpower, the Flight ability, that Plasticity that we talked about, the Shape Change with a 50-50 chance, so 4 through 6. The KO opposing characters gives him a 2 heal, and that's any opposing character, so it doesn't have to be a standard character, so lots of low-cost bystanders can get KO'd to heal him up. The Stealth and Free Smoke Cloud combine well, and he has the free placement, plus he has some move and attack on his dial. So at 250 points, he's starting with an 11 movement charge, so that gives him the reach of 12. It would be the 4 placement is the free placement with his free Smoke Cloud, so he can free Smoke Cloud, make the obscuring terrain, free place himself in that obscuring terrain within 4. Then he can charge for 6. He has Giant Reach 2 from the sword, giving him a 12 reach. Since he starts in a starting area, the 12 gets him more than halfway across the map in 1 turn. At 125 points, all of that is about the same, except the charge goes down by 1 because he's a 10 movement on his 125 starting line. So he would have an 11 reach, still get in halfway, more than halfway across the map. On his 250 points, he's starting with that 11 movement, 12 attack, 18 defense, invincible, and 5 damage with Outwit. On 125, he's starting with a 10 movement, 11 attack, 18 defense with Impervious, 4 damage with Outwit. For 250 points, you're getting 11 clicks of life, and for 125 points, you're getting 7 clicks of life. Although he does not have any stop clicks, he does have 3 clicks of regen at the end of his dial, plus he has all of the other things that are there to protect him, which we'll look at in a second. Let's take at either one of those point values, you have some room to build. So if you build in some TK, you can get him 18 or 17 squares across the board. So you can get him over there to really get right into the action, which is what you would want to do with this type of tentpole character. Get him over there, get the close attacks going. Hopefully he's KOing people and healing up too. He does have a long enough now dial to absorb some hits, get some KOs, heal. So a lot of things to keep him on the board. Defensively, at 250 points, here's what your opponent has to deal with. First of all is going to be stealth and the free smoke cloud. So he should be stealthed up as he moves across the board. or even after he's engaged in combat. You can use that stealth, the obscure and terrain, two ways. You can use it to stealth yourself up to prevent being sniped by other opposing characters that you're not tied up with, or you can use it to get out of adjacency with opponents. So you can smoke cloud and then just free placement, so you don't even need to break away or anything, even though he has that uh, super bonus to breakaway. You can just place him out in that obscure and terrain, go after another character, get out of adjacency, lots of options. Your opponent then, if they can get through stealth, they also have to deal with the 50-50 shape change and super senses and invincible, and he's protected outwit. Unless they can take away his power cosmic ability, they're going to have to deal with his powers and abilities. At 125, the stealth and the obscuring is still there, the shape change, the super senses, plus another rollout with impervious, plus that protected outwit. So he has a lot of things to preserve those 11 clicks of life or those 7 clicks of life. And then, of course, the heal on top of all of that, giving him the chance to bump back up a couple clicks as he's KOing people. Not to mention his own outwit and probability control, depending on where he is at on his dial. So if he charges in, lands an attack, he can outwit whatever you need to do on your opponent. If he does get hit, he's getting hit onto maybe some flurry with 4 damage or flurry with 3 damage and prob. Plus that ability to heal, so he could be flurrying with 11 attacks for 4 damage with probability control, and if he KOs, he'll be bumping back up. All of those things are what is going to keep him on the map. So even without any attack powers on his dial, he has a lot of things going on. The ability to KO is going to help him, his regen at the end, his prob, should he get hit, plus all those rollouts he has, the shape change, all of that is going to make that dial feel longer, even longer than 11 clicks. All in all, I think this character is good at both point values. My personal tendency, I would go with the 125 and build around that. He's not unique or a prime, so you could even do 2 of them at 125 to give you 2 different type of attack options going on, especially with what he's bringing in the ability to heal himself back up. 2 125s you might get a little bit more use out of than one 250.1, because comparatively, really, they're all decent values on his movement, his attack, his defense, and his damage. A 5 defense or a 5 damage versus a 4 damage, uh, basically the same thing, especially with his giant reach and his far movement potential. The charge is basically the same. The 12 attack, 11 attack, basically the same, especially when you have some room in that team total to build in some perplex or other things to help this character. I'm excited to see how other players are going to use him, because I know it's a highly anticipated figure, and I think a lot of people will be eager to put him on a team. So we might be seeing some pretty cool things with this figure. Check it out. If you dig what we do, go ahead and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.